Hello, I'm selling a 1987 Volkswagen Jetta with a 1.8 liter gasoline engine and a 3-speed automatic. The car is 100% stock with the exception of these mag wheels, which were taken off a Volkswagen Corrado. This car belonged to my father, who passed away a couple months ago, and I'm now selling it to help get this out of my mother's driveway. The car was purchased by my father from an old lady who bought it new and used it as her grocery getter. For being a 1987, it's relatively low mileage. When my dad bought it, it hadn't been driven in several years, and the fuel lines were all gummed up, and when he bought it, it wouldn't run. He cleaned out the fuel system, and now it'll start and run. The car does have a few small issues that someone who is going to buy this and truly try and make it roadworthy would need to fix, but it does start and run down the road. Here's an up close of the motor. This is a 1.8 liter gasoline engine. It is mechanically fuel injected, so it is highly unique. It does not have any computers anywhere on board. It is full mechanical fuel injection. It has one injector for each cylinder and a fifth injector in the upper manifold, which functions essentially as a choke when the car is cold. The car is essentially cold. It's about 80 degrees here in North Texas today, and I'm going to demonstrate it starting up and running, and you'll see it runs a little rough when it's cold. The idle speed could probably use some adjustment. Once it warms up, it idles much better. The car has a drain on the battery somewhere when it's not being run, so if you need to, until the drain is identified from the battery needs to be disconnected when you're not running it. Otherwise you might walk out to a dead battery. I don't know how fast the drain is. We haven't really been driving this car lately since my dad passed. The air conditioning on this car does not work. It was designed to run on the old style refrigerant system, and in order to make the air conditioning work, you would have to convert it to the R134A, which would be relatively expensive. Another thing I can say about this car is the motor mounts, at least one of them appears to be weak or possibly broken, so if you're going to really run this car down the road, I'd suggest one or probably all new motor mounts would be a recommendation. The body of this car is pretty straight. There are, some minor places where there is a little bit of paint missing here and there, but this is a Texas car, always has been a Texas car, and it is for the most part free of rust, and the interior is relatively clean, and this would make an excellent car to go to Volkswagen shows with, or to use however you see fit. Given the antique nature of this vehicle, at current asking price is $2,500, located here in Denton, Texas, and prefer to sell locally. So I will start the car up and show you how it starts. So it is running now. It's running pretty rough, but it is running. You can see the motor shake, and that's what I'm talking about. It needs a motor mount. Now it's idling a little better. Okay, so I'm putting it in drive. This is an automatic. And I'm going to drive it around the block for you guys. Prove that it does run down the road. Has an aftermarket radio in here that was put in by I don't know who. Maybe my dad. I don't know. Crank windows and manual locks in this. Okay, this is going to turn onto a frontage road. I'm going to get the car up to 55 and then turn back into my neighborhood. Okay, full throttle, here we go. It's not a particularly powerful car, and I'm sure the fuel system could use some fine-tuning to get it to run, just tip-top, but at least it does run down the road. This car hasn't really been driven very much since my father's death, which was November. It's currently May, and it's been driven only minimally to just keep the fluid circulating and to try and prevent anything from happening while the legal issues of getting the car ready to sell were handled. So my mom is the executor of the estate now, and she has legal authority to sell this with a clean Texas title. Please contact me if you're interested. Asking $2,500 for this very clean 1987 Jetta with a 1.7 mechanically injected gasoline engine and a 3-speed automatic. Thank you very much.